Hi, everyone. We are Team 2, and today we're here to present you our mental health app, groupCause. So more than 50% of Americans throughout their entire lives do experience at least one mental health issue in their lifetimes. And more than 50% of these individuals actually do not receive the proper treatment that they need. And one of the reasons why this happens is because they don't know or they don't have access to sort of mental health resources. So what our app does is that it's building a solution to this problem by creating a free, quick, and easy to use platform that uses data-driven methods to recommend tailored support groups to users. And our audience, I believe, is to sort of seek individuals that are looking to supplement the current mental health care. So our app is broken down to 4 main functionalities. It's mood monitoring, moderated support group matchmaking, mental health telemetry, and optional professional help access. And I wanted to emphasize mood monitoring. I think that when you go see a psychologist or a psychiatrist, one of the things you do is that you fill up like lots of questions and a lot of forms. And one of the things that we wanted to do was sort of take this age-old process and sort of break it down into easier things, and which we'll demonstrate later. And the thing is, like, the feature is to make it easier for users to sort of express themselves. We don't want them to lock into just words and stuff like that. They can choose how they want to express themselves.
Our app will make it easy to record your moods. So here we're on the journal entry page where a user can choose to submit a picture of themselves. They can put a picture of their face and we can run a facial emotion recognition. They can write a journal entry about their day in which we can run a sentiment analysis. They can also choose to speak, and then we'll convert that speech into text to then later run into analysis. After you've tracked your mood, then you can take a look at your mood history over time. So that way, hopefully, you can start to detect patterns in your mood so you can see what's causing certain issues, hopefully see ways you can improve. After you've had everything recorded, you can then choose to share this information with your healthcare provider or your therapist, and your therapist will be exported a more condensed version of all your information. So instead of just being monitored while you're with your therapist, you have this day-to-day tracking of how things are going. It'll be easier to track your mood. After we've recorded enough information on our users, we can then use clustering methods to find people with similar issues, and we can suggest possible support groups for people. And then after, people can choose different support groups to join, and then they can live chat with each other to check in with each other and see how they're doing.
So we take privacy very seriously with our app. One of the things that we think is kind of nice is that it's anonymous, right? So you can decide to join this app. You don't have to reveal yourself, but you can sort of get the same sort of support that you would get if you had to show up at a local support group. There's voluntary sharing, where you can choose what you want to share with health professionals, what do you want to share with others, and all the data is encrypted. So how can groupCause help you? You can meet people.
Yeah, that's the 3 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, can I ask a question for clarification? So how much of this would be self-reporting versus objective assessments via the app? Because self-report, I mean, if there is a heavy self-reporting, this might be fraught with all kinds of biases.
Yeah, so we're going to have, the goal for the app is mostly initially targeted just for users to try to get an understanding of how their mood is changing over time. So that's why we wanted to have the free form entry so they can just kind of let it all out. We also want to have a few of set questions that we ask like directly, a few checklists like multiple choice type questions. That would also make it easier to connect them together when we're doing the machine learning clustering. But day to day, it's their self-reporting, and then ideally, they'd be working on that, looking that over with their therapist.
I think so. If you're depressed, you become withdrawn, and if you become withdrawn, I just wonder if the AI tool could monitor somebody not logging in, and then understanding maybe this person actually needs help, and if there could be something more to that part of intervention.
Yeah, so the beauty with the machine learning, after we've had enough data, and partially why we want to see their moods over time, it would be ideal if eventually we'd be at a point where we can predict extreme events happening, like you're suggesting once they start withdrawing that they'll stop using the app. Although those are things we would hope we can do as the app grows, but it's not something we're confident we could say we could do right now, just because we're not sure where it would go.
Just to add a comment there, so as someone who's suffering from a mental health condition, if somebody's depressed, just to sort of piggyback on that, they may not have the willingness or the motivation to upload a picture of their mood, and that seems to be a major feature in your app. So just a comment, and then the question I had was, could you define your target audience a little better? Because it says like individuals supplementing current mental health care. Could you define that a little better?
So I think actually a major target that we're going for is actually people who they're not sure what's going on. They might start to be feeling a little anxious or so, but they're not ready to take that full step to see a therapist. So we're not directly targeting people with already diagnosed illnesses. This is more something to just try to. It's more just something to try to see if you're starting to worry about yourself. You're not sure where to start. This could be your first step to just start tracking your mood to see what's going
I
on.
see. Got it. Thank you.